Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you, he is going to have a breakout season. Hard work beats talent when talent is not working. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he is doing both. I'm looking for a big year out of this guy. Let's talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Inside P Town, your one stop shop for everything Carolina Panthers. I am your host, P Way, and I am excited to giving you this video today. This is part two of my series where I've been releasing my top 5 candidates for the 2025 season. If you haven't seen the first episode where I named my number 5 candidate on that list, don't worry, at the end of the video, you can check it out. Just look on the screen and you'll see the video there. And like always, I thank you guys for your support. Go ahead and like, go ahead and comment and subscribe. And make sure you hit that bell so you're notified as I keep releasing this dope content of film reviews, breakdowns, player updates, news, and etc. It's just going to keep getting better and better. Now, let's get to the task at hand. All right, so this is the moment we've been waiting for. Let's go ahead and reveal the fourth player on my top 5 breakout candidates for the 2025 season. And it is no other than JT Jatavion Sanders. Jatavion Sanders fell to us last year in the draft where he was expected to go earlier, but due to some character issues, he made his way to the Carolina Panthers. And since he's been with us, he has been nothing but focused on football and has made a few eye popping highlight reel type plays. And he's continuously to dedicate himself to the game. And that's really all we can ask for. So now moving on, this is my player analysis on Jatavion Sanders, where I discuss a couple strengths and a couple weaknesses that I noticed about his game. Now, number one, in his strengths, we have his strong hands, his fluid route running, and his size and speed. What I like about Jatavion Sanders is number one, he has those strong hands, he has those mittens, right? He's a guy who really knows how to attack the ball in the air, go up for it, and he's a security blanket. Number two, his fluid route running. He has that wiggle, man. He has just a nice wiggle and that size and speed. He's the type of player, it reminds me of the Travis Kelce's, the George Kittle. He might be a tight end, but when you see him run, he almost looks receiver-like, just the way he's able to cut and quickly move and have really effective route running. Now, some of his weaknesses that show up on tape are his run blocking, his strength, and his consistency. And now, when I say his strength, I'm not saying he's a weak guy, but there are some explosive power moves, especially in his blocking, that he can definitely improve on. His run blocking definitely needs some work, and we do not want it to be a case where we got to pull him out on run plays. That just makes everything very, very obvious, for the defense. They're simply going to know when JT's in the game, it's a pass. When he's out the game, now we need to watch out for the run. Especially being a running team and having the running style we do, we're going to need him to really improve in this area. And with consistency, I just need JT to really dedicate himself in the running game and the run blocking game as much as the passing game. He has got to make it a very, very high priority. Now I got a little game called Guess Who. I told you guys I really think that he's going to have a breakout 2025 season, but also this comes because he mirrors another rookie tight end who we should be very familiar with. Hint, hint. Now, in Jatavion Sanders' 2024 rookie season, he had 33 receptions, 342 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown in 16 games, and he had about 40 to 43 targets. Now, the guy I'm comparing to had about 20 more targets and had about the same level of production. And before I reveal that player, I'll just say this is a tight end who Jatavion Sanders says he's looking to model his career after, and he said he will be the next this tight end's name. And that is no other than, you guessed it, Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen, his rookie year, had 39 catches for 391 yards and 2 touchdowns in his first season when he played for the Chicago Bears. So this is, kind of good to hear. Shows those promising signs, just like Greg Olsen did in his rookie year. He showed that talent. He didn't get a lot of targets, obviously, because it's the first year. Bryce struggled early. We had to bring on Andy Dalton, and that chemistry just wasn't there. But now that we know what JT brings to the game, I really expect the targets to increase going into the next season. Now, last thing before we get to film, talked about in the past when teams were scouting Jatavion Sanders in the draft process last year. There was some character issues, and this is why he fell so late, and we were able to benefit off that and add him to the team. Now it just looks like all of that seems to have been noise. He's done nothing but dedicate himself. And I'm not a guy who likes a guy who's just going to talk about it. I want you to be about it. And that's what Jatavion Sanders has done by showing up to camp almost 10 pounds lighter, looking leaner, looking faster. And he went out and it's reported that he hired a chef just to get his dietary plan intact and get his athleticism to the next level. And I love a guy who is focused on football, focused on his career, and doing the right things to get the best out of himself. Now it's time, my favorite time. Let's get to the film and let's look at some, bad plays and good plays of Jatavion Sanders last year and how I think some of these plays will translate to the plays that he will make next season. Okay, so the first place I want to show you is a run play, and I want to show you some things I've seen out of his run blocking skills that really just got to improve, man. He got to get better. So here is a run play. This is week 9 versus the Saints. We went on to defeat the Saints 23-22, and we got the dub. So let's go ahead and check it out here. We have Bryce Young put Tompkins in a fake motion, sweep out, and watch it. Tavion Sanders completely missed the block. Let's rewind that there, and I'll slow it down for you. So boom, we have the fake motion, and we have Jatavion Sanders pull here. He does a great job not giving any indicators that he's pulling, and he whips. Now, he has big 96 coming right at him, and I understand he's a big guy, but you have to at least get in his way, tap him a little bit, put some type of pads on him to stop him because he's the only guy that can really stop this play. And if we look closer, if he is stopped, Miles Sanders here has a clear path right behind Jatavion Sanders, and this could possibly be big yardage. But Jatavion Sanders probably dove and closed his eyes and completely missed. Now, I do want to add, yes, Miles Sanders could have ran a little bit faster here, and I think he could have got through that arm tackle. But, this is just really just a poor job from JT here. Completely whiffs the block, completely misses, eats dirt, and that lets 96 make the tackle and stop the play. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, P-Way. That is one play where he messed up. There's no way he did that again. That's just one time he went there and he missed the D tackle. Well, let's go to the next play. All right, play number 2. We have Jatavion Sanders in the same exact game. Now look at him here. You see him line up. He's looking right. He's already measuring up. Who is over there? And you can see his eyes already. He's saying, okay, I got to pull and get Cam Jordan. He probably says a quick prayer, and let's see what happens. Let's rewind that. All right, so this time, at least JT tried to deliver the blow. But let's really break it down. He lines up, he looks, he says, golly, I got Cam Jordan. All right. He gets ready for the play. He didn't even put his mouthpiece in, which is crazy. Boom. Miles Sanders goes in motion. Here he comes. JT pulls. And you see that stop? He stops and braces himself. You cannot stop when you're going against a guy of that size. You have to keep your motor going and meet Cam Jordan and put some pads on him. Here, he said, you can already tell what's going in his mind. He's like, man, oh man. He freezes up, he braces for the hit, and he still gets the worst of it. Because Cam Jordan absolutely goes right through him, and then he makes the tackle. So that's twice now the opposite end has made the tackle because Sanders just has to beef it up, get stronger, and put some pads on these boys. As simple as that. You cannot allow an edge rusher to just completely go down the line unscathed, especially when you're pulling and that's your guy. And that's what happens here. And Sanders just takes the brunt of it. You can look at him here. Yeah, he's disappointed. He's definitely disappointed with himself. So look, it's obvious where he needs to improve, and that's in the run blocking game. I understand you don't want to hit these defensive ends. It's a long season. You do not need to get hurt, but you got to be able and willing to put pads on them every now and then. They're not going to ask you to pull 80 times in the game. I've seen the film. They're not asking you to do that. It's just a couple plays here and there where at the end of the day, you got to at least get in their way and stop them from making the tackle. So now let's transition to his strength. Let's watch Jatavion Sanders in the passing game where he showed highlights of nothing but pure greatness. Okay, so to the next play, we have trips left and we have Jatavion Sanders lined up on the inside as the inside receiver closest to the offensive lineman. And let's go ahead and run the play in full speed. Boom, we have him run this wheel route. And Bryce Young high points the ball, and Jatavion Sanders goes up and get it. Let's watch it from this view as well. Bam, he just throws it up. He gives this guy a chance. I mean, it does not get better than that. And this is something that you can tell it was a specific design to get Jatavion Sanders on a shorter cornerback and throw it up. And this is something that they did a couple times last year. But I think this year, now that they know what he has and his athleticism, and he has shown it on tape, they're definitely going to go to him more, possibly in the red zone and in situations like this. So he's Jatavion Sanders. He has the speed and just the talent to go up and get it. And that is just a great, great thing to have, at his position, that balance of size and speed, where it's like a basketball player going up for a rebound. He just posts up and catches it right over defender. And you see those strong hands, even with the cornerback ripping here. There's no way that this ball was going to be incomplete. Now to the next play. All right, here we are with play number 4. We have another trips formation. We have the 3 receivers to the right. You can see that Jatavion Sanders obviously is the receiver closest to the offensive line. He is lined up wide, though he's not at his normal tight end position. And here he's going to run a seams route. And that's what I like about him. He has the speed where he can line up just like a regular receiver and go out a little bit wider, right? We can use him in so many different ways. And right here, what we've noticed is that the Saints like to run a cover 3. And a lot of times there's a soft spot right behind the linebackers in that zone coverage and right before it gets to that safety level. So you want to use your tight end here. You're going to run a seam route. And as soon as he clears those linebackers, Bryce Young makes a great pass and hits Sanders right on the move for a big gain. So let's go ahead and check it out. You see Sanders go for the seam and break right there. Here's the ball. And I love the additional yards after. That is something I always want my tight end to do. Catch the ball and go forward. Let's watch from this view. He's going to clear the linebackers. Bam. Bryce Young hits him there. And then JT does what he does and uses his size and gains those extra yards. Now, let's kind of go back a little bit and slow it down just one more time. He understands where he wants to go and where that space is in the defense. So when he runs, he kind of gives the illusion he's going to run something like a post and go out. But what does he do? As soon as he clears that linebacker, gets him on that shoulder, bam, breaks in. And that linebacker, you can see he's completely lost. Breaks in, and Bryce hits it right on the money. And fast forwarding a little bit, this is my favorite part about it. As he makes this catch, he catches it around the 20-yard line. And I just love a tight end who knows go north, go through the defenders, and get some yak, get some yards. And he goes north, boom, and gains another 7 yards. That's what I want my tight end to do, man. Soft hands, catch the ball, and go vertical up the field and get us some yards. Well done, JT. And my last play, I have you guys, another one from this game. This was my favorite play, which we should all be aware of from Jatavion Sanders this year. This is where he puts us and shows us the full package. He shows us that speed that he has as a tight end. And especially because he came into training camp, not training camp, mini camp this year, he lost 10 pounds to really increase his speed. He is going to be such a dynamic weapon for this offense. And let's watch him go to work here. Here he's lined up on the right side, here at this tight end position. And as the play goes, boom, he's on a delay flat. And look, whoop! Look at your boy go down using that speed and delivers the truck stick to 31. That's the intensity we want this guy to play with. Let's watch it again. Boom, hedge off their edge rusher, delay to the flats, and just to have the audacity to go up for that hurdle just shows you he has that elite talent in his genes. It is just something that, everybody's not going to try and do that. Everybody is not going to go for the hurdle. Everybody doesn't have this in their repertoire. JT is an absolute baller, and he shows it here with that athleticism to go right over the honey badger here, make them collide, make them look crazy right in front of their own bench, and then hit the Jets, hit the speed. And it's not that he hit the speed, y'all. It's the fact that once he hit the speed, he said, I'm going through 31. I'm not going to try to juke and be pretty. I am a tight end. I'm going to use my strength, my size, and I'm going through. And bam, truck stick going forward. That's the type of tenacity and effort that we want, out of JT. And this play here really showed me, man, the fact that he took mini camp so serious, he took the off season so serious, he got more in shape. I got a feeling we're going to see more plays like this out of him going into the 2025 season. So those were just a few great dynamic plays that showed some of the weaknesses and strengths from Jatavion Sanders. I'm expecting him to have a great year. He has everything, man. He has the package. He has the full size, the speed. He has the dedication now that we've seen. He has the strong hands. He should have a much better year, especially now this offensive staff really has no choice. They have another big target into Torrey McMillan. We got Xavier Legette. We have Jatavion Sanders. He should see an uptake in the red zone as far as just throw it up on a fade route. Put him in the right matchup and let him do what he does. And also, being that he has lost the necessary weight, he's just going to be that much more explosive and needs to be utilized so much in his passing game. Now, all he has to do is just work on that run blocking. And once he does that, then we really cooking. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share with a friend. And until next time, it is your boy P-Way. And like I always say, no matter what you do, make sure you do it with love. See y'all next time. Peace.